Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the fucking nerd here, man, and I'm going to take a little time out here to talk about my friends at mybookie.com. Are you the type of fan that knows football so well you can choose any game and call it? Everyone's got that one asshole friend who's sitting on the couch and he goes, hey man, I know more than you do about this and so and so and so and so. Well, you know what? Time to put your money where your mouth is, ladies and gentlemen, at mybookie.com. I mean, and they cover every sport. Football, NBA, college basketball season. It's time for you guys to get off the sideline and get in on the action with MyBookie. The thing about this is, you can take money and bet it in real time against real people on any scenario you like. So the bigger you bet, the more you win, obviously. And it doesn't matter what team you're a fan of. I'm a Giants fan. My team sucks. I wouldn't bet a penny on them, but you could bet a penny on your favorite team. You could bet $1,000, $100, whatever you want to spend. And I'm very excited about this because I'm the kind of guy who wants to make money. And what better way to make money by spending money on something that you enjoy and something that you have a little bit of knowledge about. So put your money where your mouth is, people. And the good thing about my friends at MyBookie, they gave me a special code for every single one of you guys. It's late fees. You know, like when you were a kid in the library and you never returned your book, you'd incur late fees. LATEFEES, late fees. If you join right now using that code, MyBookie will match your deposit halfway, all the way up to $1,000. That means if you deposit $2,000, you get an extra $1,000 in free money to play with. Just use promo code LATEFEES to activate the offer. Once again, that's promo code LATEFEES to take advantage of MyBookie's generous sign-up offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. Tell them the nerd sent you. Later. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Voice of Misery podcast. I'm, of course, the nerd, and I just want to, before we get into the episode today, I want to talk to you guys about something that, really means a lot to me. And you guys know I suffer from depression, bipolar disorder, and anxiety. And I also suffer from aches and pains as I get older. And I was looking through a lot of different, solutions for this. And everything just kind of gave me these horrible side effects until I came across my new friends at CBD Medic. They have a lot of different CBD out there, and there's a different strand for everything. I mean, you can get certain CBD that tailors to your anxiety, depression, flare-ups and things like that. If you have arthritis, they got a cream for that. If you got back pain, neck pain, headaches, migraines, all sorts of different things. If you have it, they have a solution for it. And the best thing, no side effects. Now, this product you can only find on cbdmedic.com, and if you act right now, you can use our code VOMPodcast10. That's VOMPODCAST10. Voice of Misery Podcast, VOMPodcast10. You'll save 10% off any order, no matter how expensive, $1, $10, $1,000. Buy as much as you can because this product will change your life as it has mine. My anxiety has subsided. I can sleep better at night, and my pain is virtually not there anymore just because of this product that CBDmedic.com offers. Once again, that's VOM Podcast 10. Use that at the checkout, and you will save 10% off any order, and it's unlimited. Please tell them the nerd and nerdette sent you.
This is the Voices of Misery podcast. This show isn't for the easily offended, so PC police on patrol stand by. You've been warned. Now, let's join the nerd and nerdette with another podcast for that ass.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Voices of Misery podcast. This is our 150th show, and I am very excited. I've been teasing on Twitter all week long at a very important, very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Ava Devine. How are you, Ava?
I'm doing great, the nerd. How are you?
Not doing bad, and it is surreal to be talking to you because I've been enjoying your work for a very, very long time.
Oh, I am so flattered. Thank you. But you know what? I'm really down to earth. I'm a true nympho perv that loves to talk shit. So let's get started.
You are speaking my language, young lady.
Yes, baby. Yes.
All right. Now, the very first thing I wanted to ask you is I've seen you build under many different nationalities. I've seen you as Hispanic, Asian, all sorts of different names that the porn companies they do that. What is your nationality, if you don't mind me asking, because you have a very exotic look?
Yes, I don't mind you asking. I'm Chinese and Italian. Really?
See, I never would have guessed the Italian, but I can definitely see the Asian when I look at you.
Yes, it's pronounced. The Asian is prominent, but yeah, my father was Italian and my mother's a little Asian China doll. She's Chinese and she is cute as a button.
So I guess that's where you got those looks, huh? From your mom?
Yes, definitely. But I got the temper and the sexual appetite from my father.
Okay, okay. Now let me
Yeah.
ask you this. I have a very important question for you because I was doing a little bit of research this morning, because I was very excited to have you on the show today.
Yes.
Now, I read that you lost your virginity at age 13. Is that true?
110% true. I wish I would have lost it earlier, but I was 13 and I lost it to my Puerto Rican drug dealer friend in Long Island, New York. And I remember it hurt so bad, but yet I was like, I can get used to this pain. It was like pleasure and pain at the same time.
How old was he?
He was 16.
Okay, so he was, he was robbing the crate a little bit there.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Definitely. But I was a little tramp, running around in tight clothes, short skirts, looking for some dick.
Now, how awkward was that first time?
Well, it was awkward because, I just remember his dick being large and, he broke my hymen and I bled. And I remember being so embarrassed because I wanted to act like I was so experienced. So that was the only awkward thing he was my first and I wanted to pretend like I was really experienced.
Well, now, were you guys dating or anything, or was just like this dude in the neighborhood? You were like, hey, been checking each other out for a while.
We were kind of dating, yeah.
Did you guys stick together long after that, or was it just like a one-time thing?
No, it was like a couple times we banged, and then I met this bodybuilder steroid freak, and he turned me out. I was like begging for sex from everyone and anyone, and I was just turned the fuck out.
So it was just basically like a light switch. How were you before that? Because you mentioned that you were dressing up in like the tight clothes, like the small shorts, whatever. Were you like more like a demure kind before that and having sex?
Never. No, I was very shy, but yet I was very horny. Like I used to hump on my girlfriend's legs when I was like 5 or 6, and I would fucking orgasm. And I would just, yes. And I would love, like, I would always, when I played with Barbie dolls, I'd make them fuck. I would, I loved watching the Playboy channel. That was like my jam right there. And but you know what? I remember I was with this one guy when I was 12 and I had morals at the time. And I was like, we are not fucking unless you have a rubber. And he didn't have a condom. And I was like, nope, we're not doing it. So I could have popped my cherry at 12 to this lacrosse player, but I waited for the drug dealer instead. Yeah.
Well, what was your first introduction? Because like you're not just born with these instincts. Like for me, I found a porno under my brother's bed. Like was it the Playboy channel that one of your parents just leave it on? He walked in and was like, "Oh
no, shit." What happened was, and the strange thing, I was from what I can recall, and I've done a lot of like deep, intense work on my childhood. I was never molested or raped or anything of the sort. I would never experience sexual abuse as a child. So I don't know. I think I learned this from the Playboy channel. That's my vivid recollection is watching the Playboy channel, looking at Playboy magazines and acting out what I saw.
Okay. Did you have any favorite like starlets or actors growing up? Were you just watching whatever you can get your hands on
I
at
just
that point?
watched, and I remember this Alice in Wonderland Playboy video, and I remember the girl, what I thought was huge knockers. I was just like obsessed with boobs, and I used to always put, like, I love Dolly Parton, I love Charo, and I would put my t-shirt on and I'd put my knees over my t-shirt over my knees and pretend like I'm this busty woman, and I would look in the mirror.
Well, you certainly became one, definitely, when you transitioned into porn. But before then, you were a stripper.
Yes. Well,
How did that come
no,
about?
before, no, 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 no. Okay. So before I was an escort and then I became a stripper. I
Oh,
I
okay.
was backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, because normally, like from the stars that I've been speaking to, they start off as strippers and then they become porn stars. So I was thinking that was like the natural order of things. Like you had to go through this to get through that. Kind of like you have to play high school football to get to college football to get to the
Yeah,
NFL. You know.
exactly. No, I went backwards.
Well, what kind of escorting were you doing? Were you doing like the high, like the
Um,
online, like to get this girl, or I mean, or like
well, it,
just
I
advertising on
worked.
Backpage?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll let you continue, the nerd. I was doing for an escort service. You know, they used to pass the flyers out in Vegas. Like, if you want a good time, call, and it would be an escort service. And the guys would call, and they would be like, they'd call for a girl in the magazine, like say Tia, and then I would go up and I'd show up as Tia and I'd have to, you know, do my thing.
Yeah. Wow. So the thing about escorting, it brings about a whole bunch of questions because you're doing it before you became a star. Then obviously,
Yes.
what were the rates back then? Were they livable rates, or were you working on the side doing like a 9 to 5 job or anything like that, or were you doing good enough with this?
No, it was just that the rates were pretty decent back then because that I was like 18, so that was when that was in like 93, 92. So
Oh,
they were pretty good.
wow. I mean, did you have like the implants and everything before then too,
Now,
or
you know what I did? I had implants as soon as I got out of high school.
because like you had like these massive ones, and then like
Yes.
you got a reduction at one point, correct?
I had to have a reduction because this doctor. No, you're right. I did. What happened was I blew them up. I had regular D cups. Yeah, this is a long story, so we have time for this. Okay.
Oh yeah, go
I
for it,
had,
please.
yeah, I had regular D cups, got fascinated with the huge boob thing, um, got huge knockers, went into porn with my huge implants. Then I was told by one of my agents, I don't think it's a good idea. That big boob thing is outdated and, um, you don't, you're only going to get big boob rolls. So I reduced them and I went back to my original size, double D, and then I had complications ever since after that. And then I said, well, you know what? I don't like double D boobs. I want a huge rack. So I tried to go big again, and I had nothing but complications, doctors and surgeries. And so I had to reduce them again and like go to a small D and heal and then build my way back up.
Do you think that hurt your booking it a little bit? Because I know the
Yes.
producer was saying the big boob thing's out, but you're saying yes.
Yes, it did hurt because I had perfect big round boobs. And you know what? I didn't realize there was such a niche for huge knockers. Because I was told, because, I don't forget, I was 28 when I started doing porn. And when I entered the porn scene, um, everyone was like, where have you been 10 years ago? And I'm like, I've been fucking snorting meth and fucking escorting. Where else have I been? What else should I have been doing? Like, excuse me for not joining earlier. Like, I was unreliable, irresponsible, like, but whatever. So, I I got into it, and at the time I was with an agency, and all the young girls were getting hired, and I was hardly getting hired. So I was pissed. I was like, I could run circles around these little 20-year-olds. Like, what? Why aren't I getting hired? Like, I love to fuck.
Yeah,
That's what I'm here for.
yeah. It's crazy because from what I found, it said in 2003 you started,
Yes, and I was
and
28.
yeah, and it doesn't make any sense because like I feel like it's been longer, and now like I don't want to like insult you and call you old or anything, but it's
No,
like
baby.
but no, because like incredible scenes, all time greatest performer in my opinion. But
Aw,
I mean,
thank you, the nerd.
But I mean, like back in 2003, that was what, 16 years ago. I was 21 years old, but it's like, you know how like when you go to like a video store and there's compilations, it seems like you were in
Yes.
every single one. So I'm like, wow, she must have been doing it for a while. Back,
No, I started in 2003. And you know what? Like
yeah.
that overnight success thing, it kind of happened for me because I remember going to the titty bar dance because then I went to stripping and I was stripping a little bit in between doing porn and dancing to make ends meet. And I was like, all of a sudden, people were coming up to me at the titty bar going, I know you. And people were emailing me like all over the world saying how much they loved me. And I'm like, how the hell did this happen? And I was just eating it up, loving it.
Well, you definitely do have the different look, and that's what caught my attention when I first started watching the adult films because, like, mostly Asian women in those films were very small and petite, and that's what
Yes,
they were billed as. And
very.
you're just, whew, this big, busty woman. It's like, holy
Yes,
shit,
I
who
was
is that?
thick, curvy, and everything. And you know what? Back then, 2003, that wasn't cutting it. So not only was it like hard for me because of my age, my breast size, and my weight, but and it was just hard. It was just really difficult to get in because of all those three factors. The big booty, the thick girls weren't in. Bang Bros didn't even exist.
Yeah, they came around in what 2005, I think, right? Bang Bros or 2005,
Maybe, yeah.
something like that. You've done a couple of scenes for them too, as I really enjoyed. You did some really good stuff with them.
Yeah, they're fun. I loved working for them. I'm always banging their drivers.
Now, I don't know if I'm just naive or stupid, but when I first started watching their stuff, I thought it was real. I'm like, wow, they're really picking up these girls and dropping them off. It was such a really cool idea at the time.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's funny because in my personal life, that shit's real. Like I would pick up guys and just start banging them. I would go to adult bookstores and just start sucking guys off. Like I have a fucking incredible, insatiable appetite for sex. And I would do things like just crazy that they would make movies of and it would all be acting. But yet for me, it wasn't because that's my personality. That's what I do.
So you do that in your personal life. So like, let's say like you
Yes.
go to the mall right now, like you're shopping, you got a couple of
Yes.
bags, you just see a dude like, hey, come on, we're
Yes.
doing this.
And I would
That,
see a guy and a guy would come up to me. And if I found him slightly attractive, I'd be like, because I was just so obsessed with dick. I'm like, let me see that dick. Like, I don't even care about his face or his body. I'm just like, let me see that dick. You want to come, you want to fucking hit on me? Well, all right, let's go. Let's do something. Let's go in the bathroom or something. At the airport, everywhere.
so be honest with me. How many guys have ever stepped up to you, right? But the second they get with you, they're like, all right, let's do it. You pull them to like a private little alley or something, and the guy,
Yeah.
and he's so nervous that he can't perform.
Oh, many, many,
That
a
must be
lot.
embarrassing.
It is. But you know what? I'm always like, you know what? That's totally okay. I don't take it personally. I just take it like it's some people don't get down like that. They're uncomfortable in public or comfortable with strangers or they're all talk and that's okay.
Well, the thing is, too, is like you're very intimidating because you've done, I don't even know how many hundreds and hundreds of scenes that you've done. And the guys that are hitting on you obviously know who you are. They've seen you so much, but then they're like, wait a second, this is Ava Devine. And, they get you somewhere. And then their nerves take over. They just can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of some guys, because of watching porn, you know, they get intimidated. Like they're not that big. They can't fuck that hard. They can't last that long. Whatever their hangups are, it really comes to play when they're trying to get an erection. They're always thinking about that. So I'm like really down to earth and I just want everyone to have a good time. So it's like, you know what? Drop your inhibitions, leave it at the door, and let's just have a good time. But it's hard because some people have really strong hang-ups.
That's the truth. But do you have any like preferences? So like, let's say if like you find a guy you think he's pretty good looking or whatever, and you're like, all right, this is the one. And like you get him, you guys about to get in him, and he pulls his pants down. It's like a little like a little 2-incher, or do you have a
Oof.
preference on that?
Yeah, I'm kind of a size queen, although I'll tell you, I have a small vagina, believe it or not. I do Kegels and I always do anal. So I have a small vagina. So if I meet someone and we hit it off and we have sexual chemistry and he drops his pants and it's a 2-incher, yes, I'll be disappointed. But, I mean, he can always do other things to please me.
All right, so here's the $1 million question, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather have a good-looking guy with a small penis and a lot of money, or a really ugly dude with like the freaking mandingo?
I'll have to say a really ugly guy with a mandingo, because I think sex is very important. I don't know if that's a good answer or not, because
No,
then
it's honest.
because then you go, well, yeah, I could get the wealthy guy and then he could buy all the big toys and all that, but it's still not the same. I like a big real dick. Let's be honest.
Well, the thing about
Good
that too is,
question.
well, there's like a natural body heat. There's like all sorts of things that happen, like the stuff that happens in the brain, the endorphins when you have an actual person as opposed to a toy.
Yes.
So there's just something
Yes.
psychological about being with a human being.
Yes. Although I do love some big toys for my ass. I love toys.
What is it about some women that they can't get into that? Some women love it and some hate it.
I don't know. I really couldn't answer for others, but I could see why they wouldn't like it, because they need real human flesh. Because I'll tell you what, if you can fuck a dildo, then you could fuck any dick, because a dick is soft and fleshy, and a dildo is like man-made. So it's like really stiff and it's like kind of uncomfortable. It can be.
So what about anal as well? Like, how come some women can get into that but some can't? Do you think it's just the whole like, oh, that's the place where poop comes from?
Yes.
Do you think that's it?
I definitely agree with that. I think there's a lot of hang-ups about that, because if I douche my ass every day because I'm always doing anal. But if there goes a day that I don't, my asshole is like clenched. It's like really like tucked in, and it's like it won't open. I'm like, oh my God. So I honestly, but I think it's honestly in my head, because I'm so scared of that poop factor that I'm just like clenching my bunghole so tightly, So it's like when I douche my ass, I'm like, oh, it's a party. Everybody, let's get started.
No, but an honest answer is a great answer. So I really appreciate that, because some people say what they think other people want to hear, but no, you're saying, ugly guy with a big one.
I think, yeah, it's total. And you know what? I even asked some of my friends, like I fingered this guy's ass. I milked his prostate one time, and he's like, I don't know whether I was going to shit or cum or both. Like it's you got to be really relaxed. So,
That's what I hear.
Yeah, prostate massages are the best, I hear.
You see, like I've heard, like have you ever heard how one is described? Because I've seen videos, like of course a ton of videos where like that's happened, and the guy is like hands free, and it's like, and the guys normally say it comes from the stomach, something like that. What? Like,
amazing! Isn't that friggin' amazing? Oh my God! And you know what? When you massage a prostate, well, when I massage a prostate, I'll speak for myself. When I massage a prostate, I can feel it drop, and I know when the man is going to ejaculate before he does.
Now, how do you talk someone into that that's never been into that before? They're like, nope, won't do it. And then like, how do you get someone to open their minds?
Well, I start eating their ass. And I eat it like a pussy. So I'm making out with their asshole like it's a mouth. And I make out with it, and then it loosens it up, and it starts, because like it's a muscle. The sphincter is a muscle, of course. So you got to like relax it and loosen it up. And then I'll like slide a finger or just the tip or rub my finger around the asshole. And then some guys are like, okay. And then I'm like, is that okay? I keep asking them, does that feel good? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, do you ask for permission or just jump right in with that? Because some guys may freak out because, hey, I'm not gay,
Yes.
Like there's a whole myth about it.
Yes. And I've only did this like maybe once or twice where I finger banged a guy, tried milking his prostate, and it wind up not happening. Nothing happened. He went limp and everything.
I guess it has to do with the whole psychological aspect of, oh my goodness, I should not have something, sawing in and out of that hole,
Yes.
or that has to be what it is. But if they just kind of shut down and just let it happen, they may enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Some guys are like turned out by it, and some guys are like, you know what, that's not for me. And
Oh,
that's okay. That's okay.
hey, there's a question I've always wanted to ask you here, and I can never find this scene, even though I've looked for it. Uh,
Tell me the nerd. Tell me my sexy baby.
oh my goodness, she
Yes, with
still done
that
this.
deep voice.
So in 2004, you won an Avian Award for the most outrageous sex scene. What was the scene, and do you remember it? Like, what made it the most
I
outrageous scene?
do. It was no, I don't know if I was nominated, I think, in 2004 for the most outrageous scene. 2005 I won the best blowjob scene.
Oh, okay, because the information I found said you won it in 2004, so I apologize for that.
No, that's okay. I think, unless my brain's shot to
Don't you
hell,
have that
but
trophy on your wall?
I do. I have the 2005, I think.
Do you remember what the scene was like what made it the
Yes.
most outrageous scene? Like, did you
Okay, the
perform any
most
special
outrageous. I
acts?
was nominated for my bukkake. I had a 60 to 80 cum burrito that I ate.
Holy shit!
Yes, and that was the most outrageous scene, and it was crazy because it was the bukkake, and I was so pissed. I didn't, because the bukkake, they're all jerk off for you. And it's like I couldn't touch. I saw 60 to 80 cocks just jerking off and fucking coming in my burrito. I couldn't touch any of those dicks. I was like, every time I tried, they'd be like, Ava, just let the guys do their thing. And I'm like, fuck, you tease. And then they came in my burrito, and I was like thanking each and every one of them. And then I wrapped it up and I ate it.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
now,
talk about fucking crazy.
now, where did they find these guys? Like, were they actual porn stars, or just, hey, like, I'll pay
No,
you 50 bucks to jerk
I
off in this
think
burrito?
they put an ad. I'm sorry, am I cutting you off? I'm just so
No,
excited
no,
talking about this.
no,
Okay,
no, no,
nerd.
not at all. Please, if people want to hear you
Okay.
speak, not me.
Okay, no, I'm just so excited to talk about this. So I believe they put an ad in the paper or Craigslist or whatever, adult friend finder, something. They put an ad somewhere, and these everyone had to get tested that participated, and then they rounded all the guys up, and they all came and into this like warehouse I was in, and they were just standing around jerking off into my cum burrito and my burrito, and everyone was really fun and loving. Some guys did double, triple shots.
So, like, they did multiple orgasms into the goddamn
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. I mean, it was nuts. It was fun. It was really adventurous for me because, like just being in a room with 60 to 80 men that were masturbating for you into a burrito, dropping loads, it was hot. I was like so turned on, but I didn't fuck anyone.
That's insane. But how were
Yeah.
they stimulated? Like, were you like nude and like doing
Yeah,
things from the
I
watch?
think I was masturbating. I was totally nude and I was masturbating, I think, like playing with dildos and stuff. And I was just like, and they would just like fucking jerk off, and I'd be like, thank you for coming in my burrito. Thank you for, that's all I remember saying the whole time.
Was a burrito good? Like, did it taste good? You finished the whole thing?
No, it was totally rank and disgusting, but I swallowed it and ate it with love because I was like, this is hot. Never in my life, and you know what? Like, I remember that scene. I didn't even get paid that much for it because there was no penetration. And I remember it was like, it was just crazy. Like, I didn't even understand what I was doing. And like they called my agent and they're like, can you have Ava come to do a bukkake? I was like, no problem, easy breezy. And I came, and I had no idea what to expect, which is good because that's how it's so fascinating. Like, even when I had to do scenes in the past, I'd always say, just tell me what time I'm showing up and if it's anal and what do I have to bring. What clothes do I have to bring? That's the only thing I want to know.
You're very, very crazy on camera. Let me just put it that way. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I was watching your scene, and like my favorite male actor is probably Mandingo because I don't know what it is. Like you like to see a woman get like destroyed sometimes, you know?
Yes. Totally. You want her to get worked over by a big dick. And it has to be big and black, too.
Well, you know, I don't color.
No, I
Shane,
don't
or-
either, but there's nothing hotter than
yeah.
that dark meat.
Yeah, he's like he's just awesome. He's been on forever, and like I've actually had an exchange with him on Twitter. I think he might be the first male star to come on this show. I've been talking to other females, so he may be the
Oh,
first male
that's
one.
great.
But on your scene with him, you looked phenomenal with red hair, by the way.
Oh, thank you, my baby.
But in that scene, you were like really crazy. You were very vocal, and it was insane. And you took him like all the way down. He did anal, and it was like the full thing you took, and you were just nuts in there. Do you like have to put on a show for the viewer, or are you just naturally that way? And like even in your
I'm
own private life?
naturally like that. Like when I would work, for the service, the escort service, um, I remember I had this guy, this is before pre-porn, and he paid me. And when we were done, he was like, he was pissed because it was a lot of money. And then he goes, it was worth it because you're foul mouth. And that he was just pissed that, I charged him that much and that was it. But whatever. But he was like, it was worth it for that foul mouth. And so that was pre-porn.
Now have you ever gone back to escorting afterwards? Because I know some performers do like that on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you had crazy rates before you became a legend, they must be
Yes.
astronomical now.
Well, it's very high end. Yeah.
So I know I'm not going to ask you to name names, but do you get like a lot of like athletes and famous people like, hey, that's Ava Devine? Because everybody watches porn about how rich and famous you are.
True. But you know what? I get some athletes, which I don't know any of them because I don't watch sports or anything like that. I get a lot of athletes, but I've never gotten anyone famous that I knew. I don't think they like me. I don't think movie stars like me. Maybe because I'm too vocal and I'm too out there. They're like probably like, this bitch is gonna fucking throw me under the bus and say that she fucked me or something because she's so vocal about everything she does.
I think with most like super famous people, there's a high level of paranoia. With athletes, they go from city to city and they think they're immune because they expect it from athletes. But with like actors, they put them on this higher pedestal where they feel like
Yeah.
they're above everything.
True, but all my girlfriends are like, oh, I fucked so and so. I fucked him. I fucked him. I'm like, how come I'm not getting? And everyone always asks me, "Do you get any movie stars?" I'm like, no. That's okay. That's all right.
Well, so do you get a lot? So do you think most of your clients are probably athletes then? Is that what you'd say? Like, because like the average guy, like I couldn't, hell, there's no way in hell I'd be able to afford you. But like actors or athletes think a lot more, like, or your clients are of that level.
No, I think I have a variety. Like my fans are the best, and I have such a variety. I have guys that are like, say they've been watching me since they were 13, really young guys, or I have old gentlemen. It's like it all varies, and I am so grateful for each and every one.
Like, what's the strangest experience? Have you ever had like any weird experiences? Because
Totally. I have totally weird experiences.
what's the craziest one?
Oh my God. I don't even know if I could talk about this, but all right, let's talk about it.
Oh, you
Um,
say anything you want here, honey.
yeah, we could say anything I want.
Of course.
Okay, great, the nerd. Okay, well, I was um beating this guy up and butt fucking him and then pulling out the dildo, and he'd have to eat it while it was covered in you know what.
Oh my God.
Yeah, loved it. And at first I was like, how the fuck am I going to do this? I'm going to vomit. I'm pissed. I was disgusted. And then I said, you know what? Who the fuck am I? Me, the dirtiest tramp on the planet. Who am I to judge him? And you know what? I dropped my inhibitions and I said, Don't fucking judge him. Don't judge him, Ava, and just have a good time. And we wind up having the best time.
Now, are there any acts that you personally don't enjoy? Because I've seen videos of, like guys peeing on you and shit like that.
I
Is
love
there anything you
peeing.
don't like?
Peeing's fun, yeah. But I don't like vomit. I don't like vomiting. That's one thing I won't do.
The vomit thing. Like, I've never seen you in any one of those films. Like, did you try it and was this like, hey, this isn't for me, or just kind of was always turned off by that?
Always turned off by it. I have like a phobia of vomiting. Like even if I'm sick, I try not to. And if I must, then I'm like shot for the day. I'm like done.
Well, it is pretty disgusting. I mean, like
It's
piss,
so
like
disgusting, but guys love it.
it's just weird because piss, like they've always said, like you could live off your own piss for a couple of days. You can drink
Yeah.
it and like recycle it for a couple of days or so. But I mean, vomit, that's like food and bile and sickness and shit.
Yeah, but
That's
guys,
gross.
some guys love it. This one guy, I remember I was sucking his dick and he was like, I was choking, gagging. He's like, "Are you gonna puke?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Damn it." I'm like, "Fuck you." I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're gonna try and make me vomit? Yeah, it's crazy. Some guys really love it.
Now, let me ask you this, because like I know like we're kind of pressed on time here a little bit, but I appreciate every minute that you're giving me because this is
No,
a true
thank
honor
you,
to interview
Zach.
you. It really is. But I was watching my second favorite scene that you did was Ass Parade. You did with Ramon. And
Oh my God, for
you
Bang
wrecked
Bros.
that poor guy. You wrecked that poor guy. He had like you. I think he came 3 times in that scene. I've never seen you.
Yes,
Never seen you do that to anybody.
yes, that's right. You mentioned that to me.
You
That's
fucking wrecked
right.
him.
Oh, he wrecked me deep down inside. I was like, that's a big ass fucking dick.
Yeah, but I've watched a lot of Bangros, but like that was probably my all-time favorite website. And man, like he always like just boom, 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 just kind of like killed him. But you handled him like a champion 3 times.
I had to. I was like, this is my motto in my head. Don't be scared of the dick. Let the dicks be scared of you.
I'll tell you what, you conquer that one right there.
Yeah, because I get intimidated very easily, and then I got to just talk to myself and go, "Don't be scared. Come on."
Now you've worked with midgets. I've seen a scene with
Yes.
you. Well, I don't even know if that's politically the correct term. Midgets, dwarfs, or little people. I don't know what
Little
they like.
people,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so little people. You've worked with transgenders and gangbangs. I've seen that one.
Yep.
Black, white, orange, blue. It's everything.
You
Is there
got
any
it.
limits? Is there any limit?
No, there's none. I love BBW. I love trans. I love interracial. I love white guys. I love Latinos. I love Asian guys. I love it all. I don't discriminate whatsoever.
No, I love that answer, and I have a counter question for you because this is something I've
Go
always
for it.
wondered. A lot of women only work with like white people. You work with everybody. Do you find that like your rates are lower? Because I've always heard the urban legend that it hurts a woman if they ever go interracial.
Well, not necessarily because I came out swinging. I was like, when I started, I was like, I'm going to do everything. Like some people say, some agents go, well, you shouldn't do interracial just yet. I'm like, you know what? That's the difference between me and you. I don't give a shit about the money. I don't give a shit about my reputation. I'm doing it because that's what I love.
So
I love it all.
Yeah, you gotta like take no prisoners. This is my career. I'm gonna do it how I want.
Exactly. And that's the difference between success for me and the industry not eating me up and spitting me out because I didn't do it for monetary gain. I did it for fun.
Yeah, and wow, that is like probably the best answer to a question I've gotten so far because it's honest. And
Really,
you can
I'm
tell it's real.
passionate about it. But you know what? I'm like, and there's nothing wrong with anyone doing it just for the money. That's cool. I support everyone, each and every one of whoever wants to do it for whatever reason. But I really did it because I was like, I'm going to have fun. Where can I go, screw bareback dick, and have fun?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I just have a couple more questions. I know we're hitting our
Sure.
time here.
No, take your time, baby.
Do you remember an adult film starring Chessie Moore?
That sounds familiar. Did she
It
have
was,
big knockers?
oh my God, massive knockers. They were like soft and fluffy, like yours were. Like the perfect boob job.
Yeah.
She had a scene that was infamous way back in the day where her and some other girl were filmed with a dog. And that is on the internet. You can find it somewhere. If people look hard enough, they can find it.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever asked you to do anything strange like that? And like,
Yes. A lot of people have. And the thing is, okay, so that's one thing I won't film. I won't do on film other than the vomit. Yeah. Because, that can
that'll kill you. Like
yeah,
that'll kill your career right there.
that will screw you up. Yeah. That will screw you up. And I don't think I would do any legal acts on camera.
Well, there was a Hispanic porn star, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head. I think it starts with an M. I can't think of it right now, but she did a scene with a horse, and afterwards, she actually had a semi-decent, semi-long career after
Good
that.
for her. See, I think that's so hot. I know
So,
that's crazy, but
so
yeah,
you haven't pulled it off out
I
camera.
think it's so hot. Yeah, and I think that I'm like jealous of these girls you're speaking of, but yeah, I don't have enough balls to do that on camera.
So what about off camera? So that's something that's not out of the question.
I'm still scared.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, like, how do you tell your dog, "No, sit, bad boy"?
Yeah,
You
I
go eat
know,
your cage after he
right?
fucked you.
Your baby, your fur baby. How do you say okay? Well, don't get me wrong. Like I've seen a lot of I had this one guy on cam that would fuck his ass and then slap his lap, and then his dog would come over and eat his ass juice up, and then would go away, and then he would do it again while he was jerking off. So I mean, I guess people do it. It's just, I couldn't do it, not to my doggy.
Yeah, at that point, that dog was trained to do it. If the dog's just coming
Yes,
over,
exactly. He slaps his lap, and then it's okay.
I can only imagine what's going on to that dog's like, oh, this fucking asshole wants it again. Let me go
I
do it, or I don't
know.
get dinner tonight.
I know.
I might not get walked later.
Crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? But see, then it's like, can you judge that person? It's it's crazy because it's that's his turn on. What, it's how can you say someone's bad or good for what they're turned on by?
Yeah, I guess you're right there because as long as you're only doing it in like a fantasy sense, because some people have like
Yes.
that rape fantasy, and I wanted to ask you about the Oedipus complex. Like young boys or young girls wanting their parent, and they have a lot of porn that is
Yes.
geared to that. And my last guest, Larkin Love, she does a lot of that fetish porn where she plays the role of
So do
Monica.
I. Yes.
Now, have you ever had those kinds of feelings growing up or anything like
No.
that? Or is it just something that you just role play just because people like
It's
it?
something that I role play because once again, I love fucking people mentally more so than physically. So it's if I can fuck your mind and crawl up in there and get what you're getting and put the shoe on the other foot and just get in your head, I'm all for it. I think it's fun. And a lot of it is fantasy. I mean, that I've ever encountered.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it behind, closed doors, with the lights off or with the lights on
Yeah.
even. As long as you're not acting these depraved acts out in public.
Yes, as long as you're not hurting anyone or harming anyone or, jeopardizing anyone's life, then more power to you.
Is there anyone that you haven't worked with that you wish you did work with?
God, so many. I don't know. You know what though? I try not to look at it I wish I could work with this person because if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I am so grateful for everyone I've worked with. So it's I don't know. It's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't really look out and go, I wish I did this. And,
I
I'm
got
more
you.
of a doer. So it's like everyone I did, I loved, and I had such a great time. And, if I want to work with someone and it happens, then it was meant to be.
So, how long do you plan on doing this for? As far as like being in the industry, do you have like an end date and time? Because you've been very successful, been doing it for a long time. You call your own shots, you make your own rules. I'm
Yes.
sure you're treated
Well,
with perfect respect.
yes, thank you. Well, I'm retired from the biz per se, but I do shoot for my onlyfans.com/Ava Devine, my OnlyFans site. Uh, I keep that current and try and do as much as I can for that. So that's what I've been working on, but I'm not shooting for companies anymore. I'm just doing, like you said, doing my own thing.
That's probably the best way because all the profit goes to you. You don't have to share with anybody else. You can make your own rates and do what you want, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I love porn and I've had nothing but great experiences from it. But I discovered webcamming and I started webcamming and doing exceptionally well. And I was like, why don't I just do stuff for myself? And, I don't have to show up at 8 in the morning to fuck 10 guys or whatever. I'll just do it myself or do cam shows with people, with my fans.
Was that a natural transition for you? Because doing the whole cam thing, you're by yourself. Is it awkward at all? Just being in a room talking to a camera, or
No, because I love masturbating. So all I do is masturbate, fuck my ass, rub my clit, and talk shit to someone on the computer while they jerk their big cocks. It's like this is great, and it's safer for my body, for health wise. Um, my schedule is, I have a normal schedule now. Like I get up, I can go to a 12-step meeting. I can go to the gym. I can do all these, see my mom, hang out with my mom, see my friends. It's like I have a life now.
so you mentioned the 12 step meeting. How long have you been sober for now? And congratulations.
Yes, thank you. 12 years, 12 and a half years.
Man, that's a hell of a feat. Congratulations. It's
Yes, thank
unbelievable.
you. Thank
Unbelievable.
you.
All right, now in closing, because I know like we've gone a little bit over, and I
No,
appreciate it.
you know what? I anything for you, baby.
You are phenomenal. There's so much more to talk about. I feel like we can go, 3 hours. It's insane.
Yes. Right? I mean, we're having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. I'm drinking coffee outside, sitting in Vegas, 80-degree weather. I'm
80
just
degrees.
enjoying myself. You uplifted my energy because I was feeling quite tired. I've been up since 5 this morning and I just been quite tired, but now I'm like ready to rock.
You're a natural at this. You really could, and I tell this to a lot of people, but like I really feel like you can hold your own podcast, and that's something that
Yeah.
you'd be very successful at.
You know what? I tried doing that with my gay bestie and then it just didn't work out. It's, I give you such kudos and credit for doing what you do. It's really hard because um you just got to do so much research. You got to find people that are willing. And then some, like my girlfriend is doing a podcast and she's like, some people don't even have personalities and they just sit there answering one word sentences, one word answers. And it's like, okay,
Well, I'll tell you what.
what?
Well, the key, and I'm sorry, but the key to it is you have to interview people that you enjoy, like people you're genuinely a fan of, because the guests can tell if you care and if you enjoy them. Like you don't want to interview like I can't interview a freaking baseball player because I hate baseball. But like, what the hell are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
So that's the key. And Sarah, she has a show she was talking about. She had something she was working on with Angelina Castro, and I think if you were to hop in on that, that would be an amazing
Oh,
trio.
I would love to hop in with Sarah J. That's my girl. That's my love.
I'll tell you, she is phenomenal. Very good guest.
She's excellent. She is just a good damn person. It's like I met her the first time she was screwing Byron Long. She had her big tits, big ass, sweating. And I was like, who is this fantastic human being that's fucking this big black dick like a maniac? And it was my girl, Sarah J. And we hit it off ever since we talked on set. we hit it off, and I still care about her immensely. I will still check on her all the time. Like, how you doing, girl? Just thinking of you, you know?
Oh yeah, and I will tell you what, she's the coolest because the first time, and this is the first time my listeners have ever heard this story, the first person I ever reached out to was Sarah J. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me try to do my first interview with somebody, and it's been, you know, like probably 6 months ago or so since we talked, and her agent reached back and we talked, and I was so nervous because I'm such a big fan, and it was my
Yes.
first ever like big interview that I didn't hit the record button. So we talked for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, but you
And
know what? She is so
oh,
cool. I bet she made you feel so comfortable and
she did, but she
would
came
do
back.
anything for you.
I told her, I was like, listen, I am so sorry, but you know, the thing didn't record, and then like the agent was like, all right, well, we can fit you in for another time, but you know, this is it. And I made sure I hit the recording. We had a great conversation the second time, and she didn't make me feel like a piece of crap, and I felt so bad.
Oh no, she's so loving, and she's so down to earth too. It's amazing.
And so were you, and now I feel like I got a little bit more season behind me. So you know, this one right here came off really good, and I'm just such
Well,
a big fan.
you're just great, period, for reaching out to me and just being so great. So
Hey, do you have,
you're magnificent. I love you.
oh, you're the best, Ava, and I always end my interviews with this because I know you got more important shit to do than talk to some nerd like myself. But
No, I loved it. I loved every minute. You know, I'm playing with my juicy pussy right now.
oh my goodness, you just made a chill run down my old spine here. But
And a
do you
drop
have,
come out of your cock from pre-coming.
yeah, but it's not like one of these huge ones that you like. So I'm sorry, but I wouldn't.
No, you know what? I take that back. Like I said before, I don't discriminate. I love it all.
Oh, see, now you're just playing nice.
No. Shut up.
So can you
But
tell
okay.
everyone?
Yes.
Can you tell everyone out there in the world that's going to be listening to this podcast where they can find you, things you want to plug and promote, any upcoming appearances or anything like that?
Sure. My onlyfans.com/Ava Devine is where you can interact with me and see my latest and greatest content. Find me at Instagram, Ava Devine 666. You can find me on Twitter at one Ava Devine. And I'm going to start feature dancing, possibly. I'm not sure. So hopefully I'll be shaking my moneymakers at a city near you. And that's pretty much it.
How often do you visit Myrtle Beach?
Hopefully soon. Is that where you live, baby?
Maybe.
Oh,
Yes.
baby.
There's a place called the Dollhouse here, which is really big.
Good. Well, hopefully I will come out.
Well, they had the chick. What was her name? The one who accused Donald Trump, or Stormy Daniels was here not too long
Yes.
ago. So I mean, if they're going to reach out to Stormy Daniels, who I'm not, the biggest fan of, but that's another story.
Really?
They've got. Oh yeah, I'm sure. If you're like, hey, I'm available to dance, there, boom, you're in because you're Ava fucking Devine, man.
I know, but we'll see. You know, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, you're right, but I guarantee you, because you still look good. I look at your Twitter every single day.
Thank you, my baby. I try. I really
Oh,
try.
Is there any kind of special workout routines you do to stay in that shape?
Yes, weights and a little bit of cardio.
Yeah,
And I have
saw
the
you.
best
You're like,
trainer.
yeah, you had the. I don't know what the workout move is because I don't work out at all. I just stay skinny by doing keto. But like you had
Yeah.
like you had the weight on the back of your neck and you were doing like squats or whatever. Is that what they're called, squats, when you got the big ass
Yes.
like okay.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yes.
you're
Ass
powerful.
out, sitting down. Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious. You got to promise to come back on here again because I had
I
so much fun.
will. I totally will. Now that we are like become friends and hopefully lovers, why not?
Oh goodness gracious, my wife is going to kill
Anytime
me.
you have my oh, she can join.
Oh my goodness, that would be a dream come true, Ava.
No disrespect. I love you both. I love you all. I am forever grateful. So thank you, and hit me up anytime if you want to do it again.
Oh, for sure, I definitely will. Thank you very much, Ava, for coming on the Voices of Misery podcast.
Thank you so much. I love everyone. Mwah. Bye.